Well, hello there, world. This is OldFarmerOne, and this is me doing a voiceover this time. Unfortunately, when I was recording this latest episode of the Going Medieval playthrough, The Farm, uh, I had my settings on OBS kind of messed up, and I saved over the file at the end. So uh, I'd like to be able to continue and not have everybody miss everything if they're watching. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up and just put some background music in here and uh, and kind of speed it up a little bit. And if anybody wants to watch, feel free to go ahead. I'll be back with another episode, hopefully with audio this time, coming up pretty quick. Uh, so anyway, thanks for watching. To add a little bit of commentary here, I loaded up this game after playing a few other ones, and it needed a lot of work. It was pretty obvious. First of all, do you see all the wooden merlons there? They, of course, are not walls, and I assumed they were stake walls when I built this in the first place, and I didn't figure that out until my next playthrough. What I did here was kind of slim down the moat to go ahead and get that dug as quickly as possible, because the merlons were not doing pretty much anything. Then, of course, I had a lot of multi-purpose buildings and not so many buildings that were specialized. And had to go through and kind of move some stuff around. Make sure the library was a library, the kitchen was a kitchen. Reset some of my settlers, rearm them. This playthrough started as a first look, and I really had no idea what I was doing. I didn't do too terribly bad. All the ladies here survived, and I'm kind of happy that they were doing pretty well. But they needed a dedicated church. They needed a dedicated kitchen. They needed that kind of thing. All of those outdoor buildings there are going to have to go indoors still. I didn't get to that in this particular video, but I'm just trying to work on it. I spent about an hour and a half on this particular stream here, and of course I was streaming on Twitch, and I had an entire hour and a half where I was mute. Unfortunately, nobody showed up and typed into the chat letting me know, but I'm a very beginner content creator, as you can tell with the mistakes that I'm making. But I'm doing the best I can, and I hope I'm making some content that's pretty decent. So I think I'll leave it at that. And if I see anything else in particular that I want to comment on, I'll add it in real quick before I produce the video. Again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, here's another thing that was kind of a mess. The schedule panel, I just had no idea what I was doing. So here I just kind of go through and stagger the workers a little bit. It doesn't have to be done like that, but I kind of like the idea that some people will be working at one time and some people will be sleeping. And then to kind of stagger the leisure time so that way the settlers can, hang out together and play some games or go over to the church together. But no, it just needed a lot of work. Um, and I'm pretty happy with what I decided there with a little break midday and kind of a 10-hour work day, which is pretty long these days. But back then, pretty short day. I personally right now work 12-hour shifts, and with the drive afterwards and before, uh, kind of working about 14-hour days most days. So another reason why I don't get too much time to play with the content creation. Got a few kids at home too. So yeah. Anyway, well, I'll be back with you if I see any more commentary that needs to be made. Yeah, so the jobs menu, well, it's not as big of a mess as the schedule menu was, but it was kind of amateurish. I probably should have had a bunch of things in different places, but everything was working, so not too bad. And of course, I've got things like gold in my queue, which I don't have any gold, so why would I be trying to make any of that? But this was all just kind of playing around and trying to figure out how things work. Still can't believe I messed up those Merlons. But well, anyway, get back to it here. This is where I start trying to go ahead and make a shrine for the folks and set that off to the side instead of having them just kind of sitting everywhere. But yeah, building that up, putting some decorations on the walls, walling it off, and then the settlers have a really nice spot to go to their church. A little bit here, I turn the little spot across the way there into the Restitutionist shrine, and then everybody's got somewhere to go that they can be happy about. It's really kind of something I had no idea about when I was playing this first playthrough, how the different rooms work and how they're set up. Even though there is a tooltip at the top, and I had accidentally hit it a few times and highlighted my rooms, I still never kind of caught on to it. But anyway, that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to fix it up. Yep, I think I had to put that back wall up in order to get the Restitutionist shrine going. And well, unfortunately the shrines are kind of different sizes and makes it kind of look like I favor one over the other, but honestly I know nothing about the religion, so it's not true. It really isn't. But still, I think more of the settlers are of the Restitutionist faith. Yeah, see here we've got no bedrooms, everyth's got something else in it. So here I am clearing that kind of stuff out so that way I can have more kind of more of a rested buffs for these folks. They've already got nicer beds, but then there's people playing backgammon in the corner, so not the best. But at least at this point the moat's starting to take shape, and things are starting to get a little bit more straightened out. For a while there, I had a lot of trouble. They were eating all the raw food, and that's because I have my hearth over there, cooking only lavish meals, and I don't think I have any herbs. So unfortunately, that kind of made them start eating raw meat and vegetables and stuff. Cooking may be the #1 priority, but you can't make a steak and potatoes if you have no steak or no potatoes. Although I guess if I had to make a lavish meal and the only thing I was missing was some herbs, I'd probably go ahead and make it anyway. But anyway, yep, still making mistakes here, and not an expert in this stuff. Just playing the game. So yeah, this is the point where we got a raid coming in. Unfortunately, the fences are still kind of not fixed, which, not great, but yeah, it's time to test the defenses anyway, right? So there they are. I just go ahead and draft up everybody, put them up on my my little catwalk behind the Merlons, which doesn't really help, and just go ahead and draft everybody else, get melee weapons. Well, they already have melee weapons, and set them to attack once the folks get through the Merlons. They just kind of slip sideways through them, and there they go, little hop, skip, and a jump, and they're inside the base. So yeah, the archers here do a pretty good job at the very start here, taking their health down quite a bit, but of course they can just run right through. Everybody puts up a pretty valiant fight in this. Kind of wish I'd had any kind of wall up, but you know, that's the idea behind this. I'm trying to fix the farm here so that way these fine folks can stop taking injuries. So yeah, victory. Killed 6 of them, and they didn't get any of us. There were some injuries though, so not the best. And if you're wondering, you know, I've got a tutorial on how to survive the first raid without getting hurt at all. And this playthrough is the one that prompted me. I had no idea that Merlons were not stake walls. And you know, maybe I should have kind of watched somebody else's video, but you know, I didn't think of that. So yep, after they get done with the fight here, we can go ahead and expand the dumping zone and hopefully get the bodies carried out there and make it so they don't put the dead deer out there. They probably want to eat those. So anyway, that's it for that bit. Yeah, the moat is coming along pretty nicely. We got Helen and Alfreda were taking care of that. At this point it's got about half of it around. And piles of bodies laying everywhere. But the defenses are going pretty decent. And I think this is probably about 45 minutes into the playthrough here. You know, things are starting to shape up. Finally figured out the food here in a little bit, and went ahead and left some gaps in the moat here so I can have some defensible spots that that my settlers can still get out of and gather resources. So I guess it looks like I'm building a, region influence, 50%. I don't know what point you get to it, but eventually the siege weapons start coming, and kind of worried about that. So luckily I had some weapons for the melee characters ready, so that way if they do show up with siege weapons, we can run at them and try to attack them immediately. On my tutorial save, the one that I did for the videos I put on YouTube, I got pretty far in that one. I did a lot better than this one, of course, because I had played a couple of playthroughs. But yeah, once they got to those siege weapons, it just kind of decimated me. They destroyed the complete middle of my base. Yeah, it was pretty nasty. And I unfortunately didn't have any melee characters because I had built a really nice wall after this particular thing here, where I built no wall. So I built a really nice wall and only had my archers do anything. So I didn't even arm the rest of my folk, really. They were carrying around whatever they were carrying around, but I just kept trying to get better and better bows. So anyway, long story short, melee's pretty good. Now I'm glad I've got some characters on here with some decent melee weapons for the next couple of episodes. And just in case those siege weapons show up and start trying to destroy the whole town. So here I'm trying to figure out why I want to build the advanced research table, but I need mechanical components, and I'm trying to figure out why I don't have those yet. And, it is because I don't have a smith that's up to 20 for smithing skill. Unfortunately, that's just something that the settlers here have to work on. But yeah, it's starting to shape up pretty good here. You see there's, those corners are dug up. Still working on getting bodies out. But crops are starting to grow up. Spring day 10. Getting close to summer. Getting close to summer. And yeah, everything's kind of getting a little bit more efficient. As I tweak things here and there. I think a couple more days of playing, and I don't have a lot of long times to play in the next week or two, but a couple more days of playing, and I'm pretty sure these ladies will have a really nice castle to defend against all those horrible raiders. Again, I'm going through here and adding the shelves and decorations you need to turn things into workshops. Makes a heck of a lot of difference, and I'm glad I could do some of these pretty easily. And yep, adding the door back here between the what's going to be the kitchen and the basement there of the shrine, which is where the food is. Everything's a little bit wonky, but I believe I'm going to fix it all up, and it'll work pretty efficiently. So once the moat was finished, I wanted to build up some little walls here to kind of defend the gaps. And of course, I've got a giant pile of limestone blocks, so just building up. This first side here that I built up is kind of the prettiest one here. Eventually, I'd like to build up the other sides like that too. But I think what I'm going to have to do is make the walls too high at the gate spots, because unfortunately I can't get the merlons over the door. I can get them everywhere else, and you see here when I put this up, I put it up so it's hanging off there. Whoop, there we go. And that is because when you put it like that, it works just as effectively for the person getting protection, but it also allows them to shoot straight down. It adds little murder holes. So just going through and building that up, and for a little bit here I can't figure out why I can't connect those merlons to the edge, and that's pretty simply because I didn't put a floor on the top of that wall. Which it's a pretty easy mistake to make when you're just doing this blueprint mode kind of thing. So yeah, I think this little gatehouse turned out pretty good looking in blueprint mode. And a little bit later on, when it gets built for really real in the video game, it looks pretty good, but I will have to raise it up another section eventually. But I probably want to get the rest of the wall up first, just so that way archers can't just pot shot through the walls, through the merlons that are not walls, And as a quick side note here, when I was trying to figure out which door to use, graded or reinforced, it took me a little bit to figure out which was better. The reinforced door is at 500 hit points and the graded door is at 300. I'm not really sure why you'd want the graded door except for aesthetics, but yeah, I just went ahead and went with the reinforced door on anything that needed to be reinforced. Yeah. Now the remainder of the video is going to be classical music. It's the 1812 Overture. If that's not your style, I apologize, but you know what? It's good classic music, and I enjoy it. So I hope you do too. And I'll try to talk over it just a little tiny bit. I'll be a little more careful during the classic. So yeah, that's the game room done and roofed, and everything is kind of looking pretty decent. Everything, the fences are going up. The rooms are starting to shape out to be what they're supposed to be. Everything is getting more and more efficient. The fences are better, and yeah, still springtime though. I have to see what happens in the summer, right? Yeah, I believe this is the bit where I was going through and checking my weapons and rearming my melee characters after my experience in the playthrough that I was doing the tutorials on at the beginning of the game. Now don't worry, I wasn't doing tutorials on the part of the game that I was failing at. I played the beginning probably 3 or 4 times before I did any tutorials on the very beginning. So I had a little bit of experience, and I was pretty confident on how to get through the very beginning stages. I wouldn't want to put out something that was just straight up wrong. But yeah, checking the stockpiles there, seeing what we have, and everything is pretty well stocked. It's just weird little things that aren't quite right. Yeah, this is the bit here where I figured out that I need those mechanical parts to make that settler or the research bench, the advanced one. And the reason why I couldn't make them was because the smithing skill wasn't high enough. So, sent my smith to make a few of those weapons, which could be useful anyway. But kind of wish there was some kind of trading system in the game with the villages nearby. There's unfortunately not much you can do with all the extra weapons you have to make. So yeah, right around here I start removing all the Merlons that are pretty useless in that corner, so that way I can maybe turn these little little workbench type things into workshops and just get rid of the useless non-defenses. And yeah, everything's getting built up pretty decently. And then of course the heat wave happened. Now I don't think that I'd had to deal with the heat wave on this particular save at all. I already had everybody in summer clothes. I should have immediately kind of switched the schedule around so they were sleeping. So they weren't sleeping during the hottest part of the day. I thought about it. I did. Look, there's me. I'm talking about it and stuff. Like, oh boy, let's see. Unfortunately, I really like my cascade pattern, and I just went ahead and didn't do it. So we ended up with a couple of people getting hurt. I don't really know what's happening with Wavern right here. It's only like 85 outside, and she was totally passing out repeatedly before bedtime. It's maybe she was up really late for the attack or something. Anyway, she passed out like 6 times. Unfortunately, there's not a easy button that says go to bed. Otherwise, I would have hit that. I could have changed the schedule again, but I was already heartbroken that my cascade thing was gone. Music, sorry. Yeah, here's where I change the schedule. Anyway, this is almost the end of the video. If you made it this far, you are a saint, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you watching. If you like what you see in these videos, or even in this one, go ahead, hit the like button. You can subscribe if you want more. I promise I'll try better to keep audio in the videos. And thanks much, and have a great day.